Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Pagan. In today's lesson we're going to be talking about problem solving using algebraic models. Alright, the goal is to kind of get these real world application problems solved by us. Alright, the problem solving model contains 5 parts. So first part is a verbal model, which is a model with words. Then we assign labels, so we give them variables and numbers. Then we go ahead and put that into the algebraic model. We solve the model, and then last but not least, we answer the question that is required of us. Alright, let's go ahead and try this model in one of the examples provided below. Example number 1. On August 15, 1995, the Concorde flew 35,035 miles from New York City to New York City in 31 hours 27 minutes. Now, reading this information, a couple things are very important. For example, the fact that they tell us how long the miles are. This would be our distance. They also provide us with how long it takes. Well, that will be our time. The question below asks, what is the average speed? Now, if you remember from your science class, there's a correlation between rate and time. So what we want to look at is the verbal model. So we're going to start with step 1. Here's the verbal model. We know there's a relationship between the distance, and that is related to 2 things. How fast you're traveling, which is your rate, and how long you're traveling for, which is the time. So we know that when we multiply these 2 values, we end up getting the distance. Now we're going to go ahead and start labeling these based on the information that's provided for us. For example, we know that the distance is equal to 35,035 miles. We also are given the time, but the time is given to us in this format, 31 hours and 27 minutes. So I'm actually going to change that to how many miles we travel a minute. So I'm going to convert the hours, 31 hours, to minutes by multiplying by minutes of 60, because 1 hour has 60 minutes. And I'm going to add the 27 minutes just so that I don't forget it. And I'm going to put that into my calculator. You can hear my little calculator going off, so I hope you're doing the same. So this is equal to 1,887 minutes. Alright, we don't know what the rate is, but that's what we are looking for. So this right here is our assigned labels. Alright, now let's go ahead and write our algebraic model. This is a model where there's letters involved. So for example, instead of writing distance, I would label D. Or instead of writing rate, I would put a R times the time, which I would represent as a T. Alright, so once you have that information, then we can go ahead and input some of the things that were given to us. For example, we know that the distance is 35,035. We don't know what the rate is, that's what we're looking for, but we do know that the time is 1,887. So when we divide both sides by that value, then we're going to end up getting our rate. So the rate is going to be, and let me just go ahead and calculate that on my calculator. Please make sure you are practicing this with me. I don't want to be the only one getting this calculator practice, because it's just as important for you. Alright, so we are talking about miles per minute. So that means that in 1 minute, the plane is actually traveling 18.5 miles, which is amazing, I think. Alright, let's look at part B. It says, oh, wait. We forgot the most important part. I hope you told me to stop right in the middle. And that was to answer the question. And the question says, what was the average speed? Well, the average speed is, and yes, you do have to write it in a sentence form, is 18.566 miles per minute. Alright, well done. So now we have completely answered that part. Let's go on to part B. It says, if the Concorde flies at a rate of 1,114 miles an hour, how long will it take to fly 3,469 miles from New York City to New York City? Well, we've already done some of the legwork above, like labeling things, writing the verbal model. So I'm going to just start with the labeling here. So we know in this problem that the rate is equal to 1,114 miles an hour. And we know that the distance traveled, because it says how long it took to fly this long, the distance we traveled is equal to 3,469 miles. So the question is, how long will it take? Well, they're asking us for time, which we don't know, but that's what we're looking for. So that's our labeling, and now we're going to go into the algebraic model. Just going to abbreviate really quick. So we have, once again, distance equals rate times the time. And we know some of this information, such as distance, and we know the rate as well. What we're looking for is time. So if we divide both sides by 1,114, then we're going to get our approximate time, which I'm going to go ahead and put that into my calculator, as I'm sure you are as well. What did you get? That's what I got too. Okay, cool. 3.11 hours. Now, it does look kind of goofy. We don't really say 3.11 hours, but in this problem, we're going to kind of end it there. So it says, how long does it take? Well, in a real world, I wouldn't say 3.11 hours. What I would say is the following. The flight from New York City to London is over 3 hours. Just to kind of give him an idea, it's past the 3-hour stage. Alright, let's look at one more example, and then I'll kind of let you go on your own. It says, in example number 2, a shower head advertises a maximum flow rate of 2.5 gallons a minute. That's crazy. Alright, so that's how many gallons are falling on your head every minute. Find the flow rate if it fills a 22-gallon bathtub in 9.5 minutes. Is this with the advertised limit? Alright, so let's first talk about what's the relationship between the flow rate, the amount of water we get in a tub, and the minutes. Alright, so we know that the volume, which is how much water we have in a tub, depends on two things. One is the rate of flow, which is how fast the water is coming. So, for example, is it just going drip, 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 or is it just pouring on you? And, of course, time. Some of us like to take 2-minute showers. Some of us take half-an-hour showers. We have different water consumptions there. All right. So that's our verbal model. Now let's go into our labels. Well, we know that the volume is 22 gallons. That's how much the tub is filled. And we know that our time is 9.5 minutes. We don't know what the rate is, so we'll kind of leave that a question mark. So let's write the algebraic model. Well, we have volume equals the rate times the time, and volume in this case is 22. The rate we don't know, but the time is 9.5. I'm going to put that in parentheses. Alright, so if we divide both sides by 9.5, then we're going to get the approximation for our rate. And if I am correct, this is 2.32, let's say, gallons a minute. Alright, now, that's the rate, but the question didn't ask what is the rate. The question asked, is this within the advertised limit? The advertised limit is 2.5 gallons a minute, maximum of, which means anything above that will break the shower head, more likely. So this is definitely less. So yeah, we're doing okay. We are definitely using this within the advertised limit, which means our shower head should be okay to use. So to finalize this question, we are using the shower head, right, within the advertised limits. Of 2.5 gallons a minute. All right. So I think you guys did an excellent job today. What I'd like for you to do is try example number 3. I want you to try the 5 steps that we've been talking about throughout this lesson. And then what I'd like for you to do is show it to me tomorrow, and we'll kind of continue with 3, 4, and 5 in class. If you cannot do example number 3 and you're struggling, what I'd like for you to do is try example number 1 all by yourself using these on a separate sheet of paper. All right, I'm either looking forward to seeing example number 1 or example number 3 tomorrow. Great job. Have a good one.